sportsvision.com. I am Delcy D, and my lovely co-host is...
I'm Jazz, you guys, and we are here with the lovely Trina Strickland from Kennesaw Adventure Boot Camp for Women. Now here comes the fun part, you guys. The part you've been waiting for. We're gonna do a little Q&A with Trina. Some of you guys, I'm sure, have these same questions. We're gonna throw a little radical ones out there, you know, a little common sense ones at the same time, and then get Trina's perspective, get her real honest answer on those questions, right?
Right.
Okay. So, do you have something you want to start out with first?
I wanted to ask, once you get on a diet or a certain pattern of how you're gonna change the way you're eating or whatever, whether it's to lose weight, get more strength, or just firm up, do you always have to stay on it once a dieter should always be a dieter for the rest of their life?
Well, it depends on how you define diet. I don't necessarily prescribe diets to any of my clients. I don't think they work. I think it's all about especially if you're lifting weights or doing any type of exercise, you want to make sure that you're eating the types of food that are going to support you in what you're doing physically. So it's really about supportive eating. So to answer your question, no, you don't have to be on a perpetual diet for the rest of your life. If you're eating relatively healthy and eating foods that are going to support what you're doing physically, then you'll be able to, stay within a reasonable, weight, or whatever you're comfortable with. I don't think there's any perfect weight.
Right.
This is what's perfect for you.
And what works for you.
Right.
Okay, so for all the women out there who count their calories, they look on the back of the bags, they look they pull out their chart. This is 800 calories, I can't eat this. Does that really work? Counting your calories?
It depends.
Okay.
If you're eating to lose, for example, there is a basic, say like maybe 1,400 to 1,500 calories per day if you're on a weight loss program. But again, that's the thing about diets. Is diets are based on restricted calories. So if you're working out, then
it's not as much.
Right, you're gonna need more calories to support what you're doing, because if you don't carry enough muscle on your body, you're not gonna lose fat. So while a diet, you might lose weight, but you're not necessarily losing fat. And what ends up happening is you end up eating into the muscle. And fat only burns in the muscle. So if you don't have muscle, you're not burning fat. So you gotta make sure you're getting adequate amounts of calories.
Okay.
So what about red meat? Because I've heard that we need certain fatty cells to survive in our bodies and stuff like that, and then they talk about the salt, and you should use sea salt or no sugar or sugar cane salt. I mean, is there certain foods that, let's say for a certain part of your body, that I should be eating to help me burn or gain muscle in like my legs, and I eat this certain kind of food? Or it's just like you said, everything is different for everyone?
It depends on some people are more carbohydrate sensitive, for example, so maybe they wouldn't eat as much bread or pastas or rices or potatoes or things like that.
Starches.
Right. But it goes back to what is it that you're trying to accomplish. Okay. And if you are, like I said, if you're working out or doing any type of physical activity, you want to make sure you're getting adequate amounts of calories. So, and it's all about what types of foods you're eating, and it's about nutrient timing. When are you eating these foods? So our metabolism slows down in the evening. So if you want to, stay relatively healthy and maintain a relatively healthy weight, you wouldn't eat heavy starches, at 7, 8 o'clock at night. You're going to eat them earlier in the day when your metabolism is a little bit faster.
That's interesting, because I had a theory that when you eat late at night and then you go to sleep, you don't give your body enough time to, I guess, digest the food, and you wake up hungry and then you were before you went to sleep. Is that just like a myth, or does that really
I'm glad
happen?
you mentioned that, as a matter of fact, because there's a process that happens in your body. It used to be, we were told a while back in the fitness industry that we shouldn't be eating, and we shouldn't encourage our clients to eat just before you go to bed. Okay. It takes about 4 hours for food to digest. But what we found in the last few years is that you really should be eating something light before you go to bed. Because even while you're sleeping, processes are still happening in your body. You're still burning fat. So you still need to fuel that muscle while you're sleeping. Okay. So there's a process called gluconeogenesis, where there's a 12 to 16 hour storage depot where the liver actually stores the carbohydrates from your food. So if you eat, say, at 6 o'clock, it takes about 4 hours for your food to digest. So by 10 o'clock, you know, it's okay to eat a little. I mean, I'm not talking about like an 8-course meal, but you know,
like fruit
something light just to
like
give your body something to process overnight while you're sleeping, to break that fast, for example. So you get up the next morning, and if you haven't eaten anything, then the liver is pretty much depleted at that point. So I hear a lot of people saying, oh, you know, I don't eat breakfast. That's why they tell you that's the most important meal of the day, because you set yourself up for failure for the rest of the day. And you end up eating more.
So
over the course
breakfast
of the day.
is that important to eat something. I mean, can it be a pastry and an orange juice? Does it have to be?
No.
Because I like pastries and orange juice.
No. That's good. That's better.
I do bagels.
See, that sugar, it sets you up. You know, because you have you ever had that crash where you'll eat some sugar, and then if you start out your day with that, you're gonna be craving food all day long. Yeah, so you want to eat like a protein, you know, a piece of chicken or some turkey bacon.
For breakfast?
Yeah, you know, and a carbohydrate, a complex carbohydrate that's like a time-released vitamin almost. So complex carbohydrates are a little bit slower digesting, and it leaves you a little bit more satisfied over the course of the day, so you're not eating if you eat a simple sugar like the pastry you're talking about, you're going to leave your body wanting more. Okay,
so like oatmeal.
Yes, that's an excellent.
Because some people does really feel if I just eat something that helps, but it depends on what you eat.
It's better than, I mean, the pastry is better than nothing, but oatmeal is definitely. But still, not really.
Okay. So for the women, there are women out there who they start the weight loss program. They're working out, bam, they lose 5 pounds. They do the same thing, bam, they still at 5 pounds. Okay, I'll try this again. I'm still at 5 pounds. What's the problem?
The operative phrase in that whole thing is the same thing.
Okay.
The exercise is no different from the eating. You have to give your body something different. If you want your body to be different, then you need to do something different. So you can't go in the gym and work. I mean, you can, but you're not going to get a whole out of it. You go in the gym and say you work shoulders today, and if you go in the gym and work shoulders tomorrow and the next day, you're like, well, why isn't anything changing? Because you're breaking the muscle down. So you have to give your body an opportunity to rebuild and repair. So that's where the food comes in to support that lean muscle building. And same thing with your diet. If you eat the same thing every day, day in and day out, the same time of the day, your body is going to adapt to that.
So we should change up the time we're eating, at least by a half an hour?
Yeah, you want to eat every 2 to 3 hours. We should be grazing. That's how we really should be eating. Not, a lot of people say, well, I eat a big breakfast and I don't eat anything else again until dinner. Well, no, you want to eat small meals over the course of the day, like 6 to 8 meals a day. Yeah, and change up when you're eating, what you're eating. You don't have to, you can eat, if you eat an apple and some peanut butter for a snack every day, maybe you can have some peanut butter and some celery or something. So you want to change up not only your workout, you want to change up what you're eating, how you're eating, and when you're eating.
So those people that work 9 to 5 and they're sitting behind a desk, I think it would probably be best for them to say, if you have a big breakfast, just cut the breakfast in 2, cut the lunch in 2, cut dinner in 2, so you're just eating it.
Because most people, when they sit down with a meal, like breakfast, lunch, or dinner, that's really like 2 meals in one. Right? For most people, I've seen some portions, I'm like, wow. They can eat, just like you said, cut the breakfast in half and make that, when you cut it in half, make that the mid-morning snack, the other half of it. And same thing with the lunch. That can be, you can have your lunch, the other half can be like a mid-afternoon snack, and then your dinner. And then that snack before you go to bed.
Is it a truth that, growing up, if we had a plate in front of us, we cannot leave the table until we ate everything on the plate? But I've learned that I serve a little less more. And if I get hungry, I go back. But most of the time, I don't have to go back because I'm satisfied. But I think growing up, I was so used to everything that's on that plate has to go. Otherwise, I couldn't move.
I was told the same thing.
So we should just take out less because, like you said, the portions are humongous. That even in some restaurants now.
Right, we can survive on so much less than what we actually. I mean, you think about what's happening in the fast food industry, all the supersizing this and super. Yeah. We don't need nearly as much food as we think we need.
That's true.
And as far as going out to eat, I know what I encourage a lot of my clients to do is, have the server put half of the food in the to-go box before. Don't even bring it to the table. I mean, bring it to the table with a box of that. Yeah. Just before, right off the bat, yeah.
Never thought about that one.
Or drink a glass of water before your meal. That cuts your appetite in half. So there's lots of little tricks you can do to help minimize how much you're taking in.
Okay, so exercising. Is it necessary 5 days a week? Can I just do it 2 days a week and be okay?
The main thing, as long as you're moving.
That's all that.
Yeah, I mean, now again, it depends
on everybody, but
right. It depends on what your goal is. But if you just want to be fit and just healthier, then yeah, moving is the main thing. Whether it's 20 minutes or an hour. Now, one thing for sure is you don't have to be in the gym 2 and 3 hours a day, thinking that you can get just as fit and healthy on 20 minutes a day as you can 2 hours a day.
Okay.
How important is vitamins? If I am a big vegetable eater, do I really need to take vitamins every day?
The main thing I recommend is a multivitamin. Get into all the other stuff. I don't really get into that, but I think it's important to have a multivitamin.
Okay.
Especially if you're a female that's relatively active, and I know myself, I put my body through a lot, so I just take a multivitamin just for health purposes.
I need to do that. I admit, I'm not
lots of water.
Yeah, I got the water part down. I got the moving part down. Don't quite have the vitamin part down, so I do have to do that. Okay, well, we hope this was very informational for you guys. You want to let the people know about your website, how they can join, anybody that's interested?
Absolutely. To join Kennesaw Boot Camp, if you visit www.KennesawAdventureBootCamp.com, or you can call me at 770-234-5336. And there is another camp starting on September 13th.
Right after Labor Day.
Right after Labor, yeah, absolutely.
So eat all you want. Thank you for joining us in the Sports View. I'm Delcy D. We'll be right back. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at ASV TV Network. I'm Delcy D again. This is the lovely Miss Trina Strickland from Kennesaw Adventure Boot Camp. And to my right,
Jazz, and we want to thank you guys for watching another series of the Sports View.